To the goddesses, man. Hold on, son. Hold on. That didn't come out too right. Hold on. Peace. To the goddesses, man. About to do a quick little video. Yep. It's popping out there in the YouTube world, man. What's going on out there in the YouTube's new world, cuz? Yo, bro, this gonna be a quick little video, man. Yo, shout out to the guard race, man. Shout out to the mother freaking guard race, man. You know what I mean? For keeping it Disney. For keeping it G. You know what I mean? For keeping it etheric. You know what I mean? Shout out to the guard race. For keeping it etheric, man. You know what I mean? Word up, son. But this gonna be a quick little video right here, man, talking about Saton. You know what I mean? Biggest secret exposed, boy. We done exposed Satan's biggest secret, boy. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know if anybody already knew this. People probably already know this, son. But y'all know how it is, man. Like I say, man, things gotta come in the head, and then I analyze it. You know what I mean? And shit. And if it click, it click. And I'm riding with it, son. Normally when I say when things come in the head, you know what I'm saying? It's normally I normally attribute it to me being on a wagon, but I was never on a Saton wagon. You know what I'm saying? So let's make that clear. Normally when I say, things gotta come in the head, and if it makes sense, I'm off that wagon. You know what I'm saying? But in this case, we're gonna have to make an exception. It was never a wagon riding with Saton, son. You know what I'm saying? Let me make that more freaking clear. But there's a lot of things that be coming in the head, and I be like rejecting it. Like, man, I ain't trying to be thinking about that right now, son. But things come in the head, and then you think I analyze it and like, okay, interesting. You know what I mean? So this is one of those, okay, interesting moments, man. Satan's biggest secret, man. And like I say, man, a lot of these videos I do, man, is based on first-hand experience, man. I mean, a lot of these videos I did, but it was based off of first-hand experience, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Even though I do the decodes and all that with the movies and all that, breaking down the Matrix and all that, with the movies is vicarious, you know what I'm saying? But as far as breaking down the Matrix, you know what I'm saying? Some of that be vicarious, but a lot of the times it just be me moving through those spaces and just picking up shit. You know what I mean? Just picking shit up, son. So, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be using a couple of examples as I do, man. You know what I'm saying, to drive the point, to speak the language so people can identify what's being said when it's being said, things of that nature. People who's familiar with this channel, they already know what it is, man. But it might be some new heads. As a matter of fact, I know it's gonna be some new heads that's gonna come across this video, because this video is mostly targeted at new heads, but it's going to be some old heads. And when I say new heads, I don't mean like young people, son. It doesn't have to do anything. It ain't got nothing to do with the age bracket. I mean, just got to do with people who never came across a video. You know what I'm saying? But it's something for everybody. Something for that everybody needs to look out for. You know what I mean? And shit gonna start clicking. You know what I'm saying? And once it click, it ain't no unclicking, sinner. You know what I mean? So we gonna use these celebrities as an example, son, because these celebrities has been used as a seed to plant the germ in the minds It's with the masses, but we're gonna focus on the carbonated beans. Y'all know how I do. To plant the germ in the minds of the masses that Satan is the only way. You know what I mean? These celebrities has been used as a seed to plant the germ in the minds of the God race to see that Satan is the only way. And they do that by flaunting wealth. They hit you with this forged light of what success is. Coming from poverty, and now you surrounded by wealth and riches, and you accomplish your quote unquote dream. When I'm not dream my ass. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is, why would God send you down here under the guise of you fulfilling your dream when that has, and your dream is strengthening the matrix? You know what I'm saying? Serving the beast. But that's how they pass it off. So, or I always wanted to be, for instance, a rapper or a singer or an actor. Now, you all know, to go through those channels, you got to become one of them boys or one of them girls. You know what I'm saying? You got to become one of them boys, one of them girls, if you want to, quote unquote, make it. If you want to, live your dream, manifest your dream. You know what I'm saying? And the beast been using these celebrities, these pawns. The ones for members of the guard race, the ones who didn't have what it take to sustain a connection with the real gods. You know what I'm saying? When you're looking at celebrities, you're looking at the ones who failed. You're looking at failures in the God's eyes. Gods don't see these celebrities as people who actually succeeded. They're actually people who failed the mission. You know what I'm saying? The mission that God set out for them to have or to exercise. You're looking at failures in life. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at the ones who failed the mission of God, but they passed the devil test. You know what I mean? When you fail God test, you pass the devil test by default, son. In this situation, son. In this example that I'm giving. You know what I'm saying? They failed miserably. You know what I'm saying? Miserably. But the way how the Matrix advertise it, they win it. They got the fame, they got the fortune, they got the clothes, the jewelry, the cars, all of the business endeavors. They winning, and that is a tool that can only work against a people who was raised in poverty, son. That bait only works on those who was placed in poverty, son. Now y'all know, people who's familiar with this channel know that I broke down that these environmental conditions in regards to poverty is all engineered by them boys and them girls. You know what I'm saying? It is meant to season you to sell your quote unquote soul, or even for you humans, your soul, your quote unquote spirit. That's what it's meant to do. The circumstances that you encounter while being in poverty is meant to constantly condition you, because there's a bunch of rituals that you just be navigating through, and having all these rituals just being shot at you all through the damn day and night when you living in the damn hood and you in poverty, whether you in a third world country or you in the damn hood. It is meant for you to see. It's meant for you to be conditioned to see Saton as the only way. And the celebrities are being used as a direct physical manifestation of that success, son. You know what I'm saying? So the celebrities, they always got this rags to riches story, which is bullshit. A lot of them, they don't really have no rags to riches stories. And the reality is, we the guard race, we ain't come from no goddamn rags, and we ain't from poverty, son. We got royal blood in our damn veins. You know what I'm saying? We come from, and when I say come from, doesn't mean that we have a beginning. We came from a real race, the only real race, and I'm speaking the language when I say race, because we beyond race, but we come from a race that's beyond wealth. You know what I'm saying? You cannot put a price tag on anything that represents us. And speaking of that, I did a video back in the day speaking about when they show our ancestors wearing all of this jewelry, bracelets, and the earrings and the emeralds and the crowns and all of that. And I was breaking that down, talking about how that's not jewelry, that's actually technology. That was technology that was being utilized because at that moment in time, the connection started getting weakened. They showing us in the time frame when we already fell, but we still had higher forms of knowledge, and we created those instruments because they represent, those instruments represent technology. It's like an iPhone right now. You know what I'm saying? You walk around with the iPhone right now, give you access to do all types of technological things. You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at the bracelets, the emeralds, the jewelry, even the clothes that they wore, that was all technology. But in the quote unquote conscious community, they want you to see that as flossing. They want you to see it emotionally, son. You know what I'm saying? So it was represented as technology, son. You know what I'm saying? For us to be utilizing thoughts and all types of other things on a higher wave, man, because we had already fell. So when you're looking at the this rags to riches story, make it seem like they came from poverty, and now they chased their dreams, and now they made it, and blah blah blah, fame, fortune, fame. So that's the template. That's the template that they use. You know what I'm saying? When they want to land this demonic ritual home to members of the guard race, be like, yo, okay, this is what I need to be doing in life. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. I need to be a ball player. I need to be an actor. I need to be a singer. Whatever. I need to be one of these celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the pinnacle of life. You know what I'm saying? This is how we we achieve, we succeed, we make it. You know what I'm saying? When in reality, son, nah, that's when you fail. That's when you fail, son. You know what I'm saying? That's when you fail. So one thing that these celebrities would never tell you, son, and this is, tied into the biggest secret exposed. One thing these celebrities will never tell you: when they sell their soul to the devil, I'm speaking the language selling the soul. You know what I'm saying? But when they sell their soul to the devil, they actually give up their right to co-create with the creator. They cut all ties with the creator. They give up their right to co-create with the creator. When they give up their right to co-create with the creator, all of the powers and the gifts that the creator naturally gave them, that they never tapped into, son. They never tapped into these abilities, son. That now become suspended. Is now null and void. They are literally blank. Which is why when you look into their eyes, they look dead. You see, they don't have no soul. They don't have no abilities no more, son. They sold all of their abilities. They gave it up. You know what I'm saying? So now I know the obvious next question is, shit, if they are, like in a rapper case, if a rapper sells his goddamn soul, how the hell he can still rap? Great question. Because when they sell their soul to Saton, they give up their right to co-create with the creator now. Now they have no ability to create with the creator. They have to create now through Lucifer, the devil, Saton, whatever the hell, Baal, whatever they want to call it, son. And the only way they can create anything is that they have to be attached. They have to have someone in their circle that they're cool with that has that same ability, son. And what they would do is cipher energy from that individual and use that individual gifts, which is why they do these rituals. You know what I mean? They would do these rituals to cipher the energy or the abilities from someone, whether that be in their family or in their immediate circle, their entourage, someone that they're cool with. And this can only be done if the person in their family or in their entourage is unconscious of it. You know what I mean? Because those demons, the reason why they say demons always lurk in the dark, because the dark represents your unconscious mind. They need to make moves like a burglar, creeping into your damn crib, dodging the heat sensors and the night vision sensors that you got in your crib and all that. You know what I'm saying? They need to, you got the alarm on the door. They need to bypass the alarm and all that. They cannot raise consciousness, son. They live in the subconscious. And I'm gonna do a video about this subconscious, because the reality is, son, we ain't got no subconscious, son. But I'm gonna do a video on that. But I'm gonna speak the language. They live in the frequency of the subconscious, son. Things that you're not aware of. You know what I'm saying? Which is why they move sort of like strategic. It's like they walking on eggshells, and they don't want to step too damn hard to crack the eggshells. Walking past. Hold on. My damn food getting cold. Walking past somebody that's sleeping. We gotta be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be freaking quiet, cuz. They'll be over here creeping around in the subconscious frequencies, huh? You know what I'm saying? We cannot alert them to let them know exactly what we're doing. We can't let them know that we have no power. No power. They are literally powerless, son. All of them, son. All of them are powerless, son. I don't give a damn what kind of celebrity it is, son. Celebrity it is, son. I don't give a damn how talented they appear to be, son. That is not their own gifts. That is something that they are ciphering from somebody in their circle, a family member. It could be a freaking groupie, a fan, because a fan is a willing sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? And they got a lot of fans on their page. They got a lot of fans that come to their concerts. You know what I'm saying? And they cipher a lot of energy. And there's even times when they sacrifice people, son. When they sacrifice people. Who the hell is this, bro? Bro. The Matrix. And it's times that they sacrifice people in hopes to destiny swap and steal their timeline. Steal their senses. Steal their abilities. By way of these rituals that they do. Or by way of these rituals that they do. And absorb the dead magic. Absorb the rhythm and the magic. But it has to be sort of like a co-agreement. You know what I mean? Which is why you see these kind of people is always sort of nice. Nice means to be foolish, but they nice. They, you know what I'm saying? They'll make it seem like they're doing things for you, but they're not doing anything for you. What they are doing is attempting to neutralize your discernment, attempting to neutralize your critical thought. You know what I mean? It's a form of them how they work. It's a form of sorcery how they work their magic when they trying to prepare you to be extracted. So when they sell their soul, they give up their right to co-create with the creator. Now they are bound to the devil. They could only co-create with the devil, and when it comes to them only co-creating with the devil, they can only create what the devil tells them to create. Which is why you hear a lot of artists, after they sign that contract, they be like, yo, the record label don't want me to rap about this. They don't want me to sing about that. They don't want me to make a movie where the so-called black man is the hero. You know what I'm saying? You can't create what you want to create because you literally gave up free will. When you co-create with the creator, you have free will. You could create whatever you want to create in the eye of the Lord. When you creating with God, you could create whatever you want to create. You know what I'm saying? God will give you the ability to create whatever you want to create. Free will. But when you sell your soul, you give up that right. And the only reason why anyone would sell their soul is because they bought into the illusion that these celebrities fed them, because the celebrities is nothing but bait. When they showing them the fame, the jewelry, the lifestyle, the luxurious lifestyle, when they showing them the luxurious lifestyle, the people in poverty see that and they're like, yo, that's where I need to be. Because right now my life is hell. I can't eat right. I can't pay my bills. I got this shitty ass job. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that that's all a design that was created by Lucifer, Saton. All of those hoods, as I stated before, son, they all sigils. All of these sigils are like portals, man. They all vibrate a specific frequency and they train your cells to operate out that vibration, son. Look at it like somebody on a keyboard punching a program into the computer to do. That's what these sigils do. These cities are sigils. You know what I mean? I gave a perfect example. When you look at the projects, when you go look at the project buildings, you go on Google and look at Queensbridge. Go on Google, type in Queensbridge projects. Type that in. Type in New York Queensbridge project, son. Sky view images. Sky view images, top images. You gotta see it from the top. You gotta see it from an overseer perspective. You can't be on the ground looking at the building because you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see the magic. You gotta see it as an overseer. Look at sky view images of Queensbridge projects. Look at those buildings. Those are not buildings, those are sigils. And that's how it is with all of these buildings. As I stated before, we don't live inside buildings or houses. We live inside cubes. A cube is a sigil, son. You know what I mean? It's a sigil, son. And they're doing all kinds of magic. See, but the thing is, when you real, Period. None of that shit is gonna work on you, son. They trying to do spells and rituals and all of that shit on members of the God race who is connected to the gods, who's real. That's like them trying to cast a spell on God. How in the hell you gonna cast a spell on God? Like, these motherfuckers be trying to throw spells at people to make people sick. They be trying to do spells to make people have bad luck. You know, all kinds of bullshit ass spells, sacrifice spells. They trying to do all kinds of spells. Imagine these people trying to do a spell on God. Do you think that shit'll work, man? When you connected to God, you share the power of God. It's a tethered ability, son. You begin to have God-like abilities on the planet, son, when you connected to God, son. You know what I mean? So all that shit that they cast on you is immediately gonna be null and void and sent back to their ass. You know what I mean? I bet you they starting to realize all of that shit I was talking about in them damn videos that they thought was a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? I bet you they don't think it's excrement right now. I bet you they recognize that the etheric beings. I bet you they recognize the etheric beings is real right now. Yo, they been wanting me to talk that talk, man. I've been telling them the truth. Beings on the upper side like, yo, man, talk that talk, cuz. They're like, yo, man, F that, man. Talk that talk. Get out there and talk, man. They like, yo, your voice is powerful, son. They like, yo, you don't know how powerful your voice is, son. You know what I mean? Because I got that. They're like, yo, you got that motherfucking ether vibration that just be streaming through your vocal cords, son. You know what I mean? It's like the tone, especially when you speaking the real. When you speaking that real deal, son. Then like, yo, get out there and talk, man. Just talk. Don't even worry about what you're gonna talk about, man. Just start talking and it'll start flowing. I'm like, yo, man, I ain't trying to be. This is something I said a while back. I'm like, man, I ain't even trying to be doing these videos no more. Cause you got people coming on channels stealing shit, you know. Yo, son, a bunch of demons out here. They're like, yo, man, F that, man. They like, F that, yo, man, go talk, man, talk. So I'm like, F it, man. I'm like, the hell with it. I'ma talk. You know what I mean? Are we doing this video right here? I thought, biggest secrets, and they have no power, son. So whenever you look at a celebrity, I don't care if it's an actor, a rapper, a singer, I don't even give a damn if it's an athlete. You know what I mean? They up under that order. They sign that contract, bro. Once they sell their soul, bro, they give up their right to co-create with the creator. And now they can only create with the damn devil, but there's a catch. You can't create shit unless you sacrifice somebody or you tether somebody abilities that's in your family or that's in your close circle, and you have to do it unconsciously, son. And it's going to come a point in time when you have to kill them, and you're going to have to keep on killing because your abilities is no longer yours. And since it's not yours, it runs out, and you got to keep filling the tank up with more killing, more killing. You know what I mean? Straight up. But it's not like back in the day, son. Shit changing now, like I stated before in past videos. Back then I said we was moving in the space of, like, you would have one black person do some foul shit and then the damn near the whole race will suffer. And I was like, we moving into a phase where those days is gonna be dead. Where it's gonna be like if one black person do some foul shit, it's gonna affect that person only. And anybody that was down with it. That's how it is right now, son. It ain't gonna affect the whole no more, son. And it's gonna be immediate. They ain't gonna have to wait years, son. That shit is gonna kick in hours or days. You know what I mean? Hours or days, huh? It ain't a different vibration now, son. It ain't like back in the days, bro. You know what I'm saying? Most folks is wise to the game right now, son. All these damn demons out here, son. I was running a bunk, doing all that. Yo, son. Son. People told me that they, bro. Yo, son, your boy even got the Lunar Squad going in right now, son. Your boy even got the Lunar Squad going in right now, bro. Like, bro. They warring on the other, in the invisible realm, they warring, son. Warring, son. And them demons is getting their ass kicked. And it ain't no apologizing, son. There's certain lines you don't cross, bro. You know what I mean? Once you cross them lines, you on your own. You can deal with it. Which is why you see a lot of these they gotta keep on doing these sacrificial rituals, huh? You know what I mean? You're gonna start seeing a lot of them rituals bounce back, son. It's gonna start. I mean, you already seen some of it now, but a lot of these rituals that these people do that they would normally just get away with, sacrificing this person, sacrificing that person, deceiving this person, trying to set people up, line people up. You know what I mean? To be a fall guy, bruh. All of that shit gonna bounce back, bruh. Immediately. Yeah, I would advise y'all. If y'all following any celebrities, son, unfollow them, son. Because they pulling your essence. You're allowing these people to pull your essence, man. They don't have an essence, son. They gave all that up when they sold their souls to Saton. They gave it all up, son. Yo, you gotta know that these mofos is bogus. Like, how in the hell you think you gonna go up against God? Like, come on, man. Just think about that for a second, y'all. I know y'all already know what it is, son. But think about that. How in the hell you think you gonna go up against God? The beings that made all of this, son. Shit that man can't even figure out. Shit that the damn devil can't even figure out. You know what I mean? Shit the damn devil can't even figure out, bro. You think you're gonna team up with the damn devil and go against God? Like, man, this how you know these mofos don't have no idea what God is, bro. They really think God is somebody who's down the damn cross. That's a fake ass God, son. Ain't no goddamn God, son. That's a human pretending to be a God, son. You know what I mean? That's a human. A humanimal man. Pretending to be a God. That's not a real God. You know what I mean? Straight up. You just lost out here, cuz. Lost out here in the matrix, but yeah, but mofos, man, it's a lot of people waking up though, son. It's a lot of people waking up, son. It's a lot of people waking up, son. But just know that that whole arena, son. Yo, that is smoke and mirrors at its finest, son. That whole space is smoke and mirrors at its finest, son. It don't get no more smokier and more mirrorier, mirrory than the damn entertainment realm, son. And like I said, man, people get caught up in that because they begin to start comparing their lifestyle to that lifestyle, son. But then when they get in, see, they only realize how fugazi that space is after they cross the line. After they cross the line and sign the dotted line, you know, when they in the office signing the dotted line, you know, they happy, hype, like, yeah, I'm about to get this money. I'm about to be on the big screen. I'm about to get the championships. You know what I'm saying? The celebration, the champagne. I'm about to get the platinum plaques. I'm about to be working with all these artists, hot producers, the hottest directors, the hottest songwriters. Man, I'm about to be turned up. I'm about to be lit. But then after they get in that space, they start seeing shit. They like, what the frick? What the hell is this? You got gay party over here. People doing all kinds of drugs over here. Now shit start clicking. Damn, that's why they do so much damn drugs. They trying to silence them demons. Damn, you gotta do all. You mean tell me anytime I want to get rolled, I gotta bend over and grab my ankles? I gotta get on my knees and wax the towels every time I want to roll? You a male figure. You got a wife. You done pulled her in. You done pulled her in some bullshit. They over here tracking your boo boo. You like, God damn, son, the whole football team done smashed my boo. She ain't even my boo no more. She went from a boo to a choo choo. You know what I'm saying? She went from my boo boo to my choo choo. She now a damn choo choo train. You know what I mean? She ain't my boo boo no more. She a goddamn choo choo. Man, fast, we gonna start calling these damn whores. We gonna start calling these whores choo choos. You know what I mean? And you can't even talk crazy. Niggas are air. I mean, niggas front line your bitch, cuz. What you talking about? You know what I mean? Then you start realizing all these girls in the industry that everybody lusting over their whores. You looking at the fat guy in the damn front row at a freaking Rihanna concert with a big ass hot dog on his shirt saying "I love weenies." You looking at him like, bruh, son, you don't even know, son. This chick right here, bruh, been ran through. Alright, bro, if you only knew, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But the fat boy, he on the outside, son. And see what it is, when you start moving to those channels, you like, damn, this shit fugazi. You like, God damn, this what I signed up for? Man, what the, no, hell no. You like, hell. You like, oh my God, dropped to my knees. God, what the hell happened? God, no, this can't be. Oh my God, no. This is a nightmare. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's a nightmare. Then you start saying, I want out. Freak you mean you want out, son? Welcome to death row, nigga. You ready to die? That's the only way out. And that's not even the only way out. When you sell your soul, you sigilly sealed to the damn planet. You know what I mean? You've been tagged. So when you die, you reincarnate, them demons right there. Yeah, you gotta fulfill the contract, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Grab them ankles. Grab them goddamn ankles, man. You know what I'm saying? You thinking the shit sweet. No, niggas gonna make you sweet. Violate. Ain't no way out. That's when they wanna run the church now. Now you wanna run to a false house of the Lord. You beyond lost. You beyond lost. Now you running you trying to run a church now. Another damn Masonic lodge. You don't know where to turn. Yeah, that's your more freaking karma. You ain't got no protection now, son. You gave it all up. Now you understand how much power and protection you really had. When these mothers sell their damn soul and they start moving through those channels and start seeing how demonic shit is, and their heart start skipping beats, RPM start subwoofing. Shit be rapid. You know what I mean? Their heart be rapid as hell. They start seeing all this dark shit, experiencing all kinds of shit. They should start realizing, damn, son, I was really protected out here, son. I ain't even really understand that the reason why before a motherfucker signed his shit away, sold his damn soul, before he sold his soul, you was really invisible, son. You was really protected, son. The demons ain't see your ass. You was protected. But you wanted to be seen. You wanted the fame demon. You want to be seen. You don't want to be invisible no more. You don't want the protection of the Lord no more. I don't want the protection of the damn Lord. I want this whore. I want whores every night. You know what I mean? I want to be on stage. I want to be getting my Grammy family. Look at your boy Kanye. Look at Kanye out here, son. You think when Kanye first came out, you think he had any idea that the game was like this? They got that man walking around with a black mask on all day, son. He don't know what he want to do with himself. One minute he married, 40 seconds later he getting a divorce. He don't know what he want to do, son. He out here lost in the matrix, huh? But that's the effects, bro. You know, sitting up here talking like, I can't put no music out. I can't go on tour. They shut down my concerts. They cancel my concert. They do this, they do that. They pushed my album back. My movie got canceled. Yeah. That's how it is when you co-create with the devil. You ain't got no say. At least when you co-create with the God, you can say whatever you want to create. Y'all gave up that right. Don't fall for these celebs out here, son. It's smoking mirrors out here this month. And these motherfuckers, son. Bro. The whole shit is a big network, son. It's a network, son. When you hear about all these babies that be getting, like when you hear about this human trafficking is floating heavy around the matrix, son. No. Whenever they telling you about slavery, and they talking about how the so-called white man ran up in these villages and was kidnapping the babies, little boys and girls, and kidnapping the women and even kidnapping the men, and how they was beating the slaves, beating black people, making them be slaves and hanging them and doing all kinds of sick shit to these people, son. Son, that's the surface, son. Slavery, when they tell you about slavery, that shit had nothing to do with what they talking about, son. That shit ain't got nothing to do with no man running up in no village with no guns and snatching babies and kidnapping the women, raping the women. Not saying they wasn't raping the women or raping the men and hanging the women and hanging the men. No, that's what they want you to see. That the reality is, son, that shit was a witch hunt, son. Slavery was a witch hunt, son. These mofos was exercising sorcery, son. You know what I mean? The KKK attire is not some racist white group, son. Those are a team of wizards, man. They exercise witchcraft, son. That robe that they wear is a Masonic attire, and they all do spells. And the goddamn Black Panthers. You know what I mean? That shit was a witch hunt. Hanging people from trees? That's the ritual, bro. They wasn't doing it because you was black. These mofos was committing sacrifices and destiny swapping. There is not a billionaire on the damn planet that has not committed mass sacrifice, killing babies, boys and girls, men and women, and destiny swapping. Which is why you hear people say all the time, billionaires study astrology, son. They study astrology so they could try to see who timelines they could hijack. These billionaires out here that own these massive companies, they be data harvesting, son. They obsessed with numbers, birth dates, and all type of things like that because they be doing rituals, son. These mofos is doing rituals, stealing people's abilities, bruh. You know what I mean? And that's something that has been going on, bruh, since back in the ancient, before the ancient days, huh? But since people always like to reference the ancient days as the beginning, you know what I'm saying? That shit been going on since the ancient days, bruh. And you know what the thing is, son? We used to engage in sorcery on an average level, son. We used to engage in sorcery like how we would kick it with our people, son. Like every time you see your peoples, you see your peoples or you talk to your peoples every day, son. That's how much we used to engage in sorcery, son. You know, it's actually abnormal for a god man and a god woman to not exercise sorcery, son, because that is one of your abilities, natural abilities. Son. You don't need no book. You don't need to sit up here and say, well, how do I sit down, and do I need to wait for the moon, and it has to be 45 degrees outside and 3 o'clock in the morning. No, you don't need to conform to that. You beyond that. Whenever you ready, go. Make the move. But that was something that we was engaged in, son. We was always in tune with other dimensions, son. It's only when, when this whole witch hunt took place, started casting all these damn spells, put the mind on your damn head, blocking mental telepathy, block a lot of your senses. You know what I'm saying? telling you that, well, the shit is evil and it's demonic and start scaring you and all this and all that. Now you scared of roaches and rats and all this and all that. And like you hear about spirits and demons and all that, you get all scared when these spirits and demons, they ain't got no power, bro. They got permission, bro. They harness power. They get their energy from the soul. They get their power from souls. They extract power from souls and it's converted into energy. That's how they feed. They need us. They literally need souls, man. Like how these people who sold their soul to the damn devil, how they need somebody around them with those same abilities so they could cipher those abilities, harness those abilities, son. They need that, son. Other than that, they just blank. They can't do a damn thing, son. They need us, bro. And son, the only way y'all gonna really understand how this game is being played, son, tap into sorcery, son. For the members of the guard race, son. Once you start tapping in, I mean, if you got the ability to just connect directly, even using the ability to connect directly is sorcery, son. When you connect directly to God, that is sorcery, son. But it's real sorcery. You don't need to ooh and ah, no book, no chants, no none of that. You don't need to be in a cemetery or no damn woods. Everything you need is already in you. You just do it with a thought. You know what I mean? But if you could freaking tap into more freaking sorcery, bro, you're gonna begin to start seeing reflections. Meaning that once you start seeing how these people do these things and start seeing the results, you're gonna go out into your environment, into the world, and be like, yo, that's a reflection of a seance. This is what happens when they do this kind of sacrifice. That's why this is here. That's why these people moving that way. Because that represents this. You're gonna be, shit is gonna start clicking. You're gonna start seeing the clicks. It's gonna start making sense. Then you're gonna understand that all these cities, boroughs, states, all the stuff that you live in is not a city, a borough, a state, a territory. It's all ritualistic ground, son. It's like you're living inside a spell. You know what I mean? That has hella spells. Even the geometry and how they build buildings is spells. You know what I mean? It plays with your psyche, plays with your subconscious mind. It constantly attacks, bro. Constantly attacks you every day, son. Once you understand it, bruh, shit gonna start making sense, B. But these billionaires, son, yeah, these millionaires, they on it, bro. They all evil as hell, son. They pretend to be nice, but these mofos is evil as hell. They got deep, dark secrets, bro. And it is well connected, son. Demons, cuz. They on their last leg out here in the Matrix. Yo, man, my quick little video right there, man. Yo. Son. They need us to create, son. Because they gave up their right to co-create with the creators, son. They out here blank. They out here blank looking for people to sacrifice, son. Their whole purpose is try to get close to somebody, to friend them, to sacrifice them, son. To steal their abilities, bro. Their whole purpose is to try to get close to somebody, to friend them. And I stated this before plenty of times on the record, son. I got no friends. No friends. You know what I mean? None. But they trying to get close to people, to friend them, only to sacrifice them and steal their abilities, son. That's the vibration of a lost soul. They don't have their own identity. They don't really serve a purpose. They gave all of that up, son. They gave all of that up for a feeling. And now through the entire remainder of their life, they search for feelings. They sold their soul for a feeling. Because they wanted to feel the pain. They wanted to feel what it's like to have all the girls, to get all the money, all the cars. Want to be on stage getting all the awards. Want to be dribbling the ball. Want to be catching a football, playing hockey. Whatever it is in the sports entertainment. Whether you want to be the top lead podcaster, the top sports analysis, whatever it is. You know what I mean? They gave it all. They gave their soul up for a feeling. They wanted to feel that. But when they gave their soul up for the feeling, they now can't feel naturally. You know what I'm saying? So in order for them to quote unquote feel naturally or feel anything at all, what they want to feel, they now have to steal the energy of somebody who they close to, son. Steal the abilities and steal their energy, son. Because that's how they feel. And the more they do that, the deeper in limbo they are placed in. This is why when you look in these people's eyes, bro, they got that dark death look, son. They can't even see it because they one with it. It's like somebody who smokes cigarettes. Somebody who smokes cigarettes, they don't know how obnoxious the cigarette stench is coming up off their clothes. They don't know how strong and potent it is, son. It can only be identified by somebody who don't smoke cigarettes. So somebody who don't smoke cigarettes come in contact with somebody who smokes cigarettes, they'll be like, damn, bro, you smell like hella cigarettes. The person who smokes will smell herself and be like, what you talking about, man? I don't smell like no cigarettes. That's because you one with the poison. So you're not going to see it. Your senses have been perverted. You can no longer see. You're blind. You can't see, you can't smell, you can't taste, you can't even touch. You're all blind. You're numb. You're blind. You know what I mean? You're numb. It was the same thing with these damn demons. You look at these celebrities, you look at their face and you can see the death stare. So it's like you can tell that it's nobody home. You could tell they did some heavy sorcery and quote unquote sold their soul, son. But to them, they look in the mirror, they look normal. They look normal when they look in the mirror, son. You know what I mean? They look hella normal. The only way, a celebrity will be able to see how far they fell from God's light, you would have to get a picture of them when they was a baby and a picture of them now. That's the only way they would be able to see how far they fell from light. If they was to get a baby picture and then look at a picture of them now, that's the only way they'd be able to see it, son. You know what I mean? That's the only way, son. See, the thing with the hood, even though them boys designed the hood to season people, sell their soul and all that. One thing that these people don't realize is that, because people go through a whole bunch of shit in the hood, son. One thing these people don't realize, son, whenever you go through cataclysmic events, whether they be horrific, no matter what level it is, it could be a 1. Nah, it can't be a 1, son. Can't be a 1, son, because 1 is child's play. It got to be max 10. You know what I mean? When you go through some shit, niggas go through shit in the hood all the time, B. You know what I mean? So when you go through some hella quagmires in the goddamn hood, one or two things is gonna happen, bro. You either gonna move closer to God, son, or you gonna move further away from God. That's guaranteed, son. I don't give a damn what kind of horrific experience it is, near-death experience, whatever kind of experience it is, that's like make people be like, God damn, that shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? You either gonna move closer away from God, move closer to God, or move away from God, son. And the answer and how you will determine how if that person move closer or move away is how they living, son. You will be able, never mind what they say, pay attention to their actions. So when you see the people going over there, sell their soul, just know that they've been cut ties with God, son. They already made the decision before they signed the contract. They made the decision to cut ties with God, son. You know what I mean? They mad at God, son. You know what I mean? They failed the test. They failed, son. They failed the test, son. They failed the exam of what it is to become a God. An etheric God. But they passed the test to be a demigod. You know what I mean? Which is a slave to the beast. But yo, man, I'm about here, man. I already know what it is, man. Heard?